Making sure numbers are centered. We passed the 4, man. Trusting the 4. What's going on, world? Yeah, let's recap it, man. Let's talk about it. I missed the beginning of a tip off. I was able to tap in with the Sports Fury though. Actually, it's Sunday, so Sundays I usually go to my casual meetup at Tabletop Village. We got a Beyblade thing going on there, but that's beside the fact. I kind of left around 5. The game had already started. By the time I got outside, put the headphones in, went on YouTube, everything. So I was able to catch the score was about like 5-4 or something like that. I think I want to say that the Thunder were up 5-4. So the score was really, it was still close. It was within reach, and then slowly for like third quarter or something, that's when everything started changing. You know, that's what I started seeing at least. They tripping. Trying to get across the street. What's going on, Rob? My bad, bro. I'm just trying to cross the street and shit. I'm looking all over the place. What's going on, Rob? Let me know if you watched the game, man. Let me know if you caught the game. I'm just here to recap what happened. If you're still there chilling, man. So it's really interesting, actually. It's like, I swear, like every single chance that Shea got, it's like almost not every other play, but like every other play. So he would do like 2 plays in a row where on offense, dude had the ball, and he would just straight up facilitate, but he wasn't passing the ball at all. He wasn't passing the ball or nothing. Straight up dribble, facilitate, kind of take his time, and then he would just make a shot by himself. Just sit there, pull up, do a quick midi. You know what I'm saying? He'd hit the quick midi, run up, do a layup. Might even just pull up, do a 3, or step back, hit a 3. It didn't seem like he was drawing too many fouls today. Not in a good way or a bad way. It just didn't seem like he was doing it that much. You know, he's kind of dubbed the free throw merchant right now, which may or may not be true. But there's some games that you watch where it's like it feels like he's really like a free throw merchant. Let's be honest, but that's kind of beside the point. But yeah, it's really interesting, man. It's like, let me put this right here. Oh damn, I got stuff on the bench. Chandler Post, what's going on, man? TCR Scott, what's going on, man? What's going on, man? Let me know if y'all watched the game. Anybody dropping in, let me know if you watched the game. Go ahead and shout out your team. And at the same time, I'm just here to recap it, what I saw. Like I said, I missed the first few minutes of the first quarter, but I was listening to the play-by-play, the playback and whatnot for, I'm saying, on the Sports Fury. So shout out to the Sports Fury. Shout out to Josh and Sean and those guys. Shout out to the Sports Fury. I used to tap in with them, pause, a long time ago, back when I was at work. Kind of just listen to them like it's radio and whatnot. So used to just play them in the background when I wasn't able to catch any games and off the TV. So it's really interesting, man. Yeah, it was kind of cool, man. Like I said, SGA was he was out there hooping. Got to give him his props, man. SGA was out there doing his thing. TCR Scott, yeah, appreciate it, man. Let me know if you guys watched the game. Any of you guys dropping in? Let me know if you watched the game. Talk to me about the game, man. I want to sit there and recap Indiana Pacers versus Oklahoma City Thunder, or actually at Oklahoma City Thunder specifically. And that was really interesting, man, because what I was going to say was last game, I want to say SGA's field goal percentage around the fourth quarter was like 13 out of 27. So he wasn't really making that much. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't really making like what do you call this? Actual shots, but he was getting to the free throw a little bit. So they're kind of being tricky about him. Hey, I'm fighting back a sneeze. It's that time of the year. Excuse me. Ooh, excuse me. Hell allergies right now. Jeez, man. Every time I go outside, I'm out here sneezing. But yeah, it's really interesting, bro. I saw it change a little bit today. I saw SGA kind of, like I said, he was facilitating the best he could. Sometimes he would pass the ball. Sometimes he just handled it the whole time. And the whole time that he was handling it, he was just sitting there, hitting the midi. Sometimes get a little step back real quick, hit the step back, what I'm saying, make a 3. Even step back and hit a midi, what I'm saying. But in terms of driving down the lane, one of the best plays I saw was, I don't think it was SGA, but somebody passed it to Hartenstein. Hartenstein went and found Holmgren just on the side, had the alley-oop dunk over there. So a lot of good plays, man. They were sticking to the 2s, and when they had open 3s, they would take them. Now the thing was, Indiana had a lot of open threes too in the first and second quarter, but it was really weird because it's like they just weren't on the money. Like everyone's like, yeah, that was wide open right there, so you got to take it. But you try to you start doing the math. It's like for every three that they missed, if they had just pulled up a little bit, hit a two, hit a midi, what I'm saying, maybe they would have cut the lead down, maybe. But at the same time, they lost by about anywhere between 15 to 20. I lost track of the final score because last 2 minutes when it was garbage minutes, when I saw they put James Johnson in to get him some time, I was like, oh man, that's it right there, that's game. But yeah, man, it was really interesting. I was paying attention to that. I was peeping that game, bro. TCR said they love the videos, man. I appreciate it, man. I'm doing what I can with what I got, content I'm creating, doing what I can right now. You're gonna have to forgive me. I'm gonna hit the mute real quick because I'm gonna blow my nose, all right? Made sure I brought tissue just for, just for that. So I was like, bro, I'm out here. Literally woke up this morning and had all these allergies, bro. I was tripping. I was like, bro, is it just me? Everybody's apparently going through the same amount of pollen and seasonal stuff right now. So it's kind of rough, like every time I go outside, my eyes are just like itchy. Nose kind of just swells up with actually even in the morning my nose just kind of swells up. I'm like, bro, what is this? I think like last morning or either last morning or the day before, it wasn't that bad, you know what I mean? So I don't actually know. Why you retracting the messages, man? What'd you say? What'd you say? I missed it, bro. What you saying, bro? You saying retracting messages? You gotta, if you're retracting messages, you gotta write what it really is, man. What's really going on with you, bro? But no, yeah, the game was really interesting, man. I'm trying to, like I said, for the rest of these playoffs and the rest of these finals right here, I'm trying to recap, the finals, just sit there and chop it up with people, and if that's what people are into. I mean, that's like I said, the things that I'm into and the things that I'm part of, I might do my best to recap them. You know what I'm saying? I might start doing it for random shows and anime as well. Like kind of just sit there and chop it up because even though it is a live stream, you can find a playback about it, and then from there I would just chop it up with people who have the same interests or whatnot. But just kind of creating as much content as possible. Staying on the live stream, getting the hours in, tapping in with people, letting them tap in with me, pause. Saying all that, etc. Doing it right. Um, ooh, and if you can't know, I'm over at the park, so I'm just over here hearing animals and nature and shit. So I'm like, damn, what's going on right here? What's going on right here, bro? But anyway, yeah, man, I don't know. It was when you're watching the game, it didn't seem like it was like extraordinary. You know what I mean? There was nothing like extraordinary happening. It was just like very fundamental defensive basketball, and maybe more than likely, like we're gonna get some people breaking down the analysis of the game. Well, I don't know why you keep retracting the messages, TCR. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why you keep retracting it, but the more you keep retracting the messages like that, and whether they're important or not, I'll probably want to respond to you. Just letting you know right now, man. Um, but it's really interesting because apparently there's out of their starters, OKC starters, 5 of them all had like 15 plus. You know what I'm saying? SGA probably had like 30 something. I'm not gonna say half of them. At least 10 to 12 of those were free throws. At least 10 to 12 of those were free throws. The rest were legit field goals because I literally watched them just sit there, hoop on people, step back, making like maybe at least one and one. Like he was really going in. So I was like, bruh, all the starters right now, if I'm remembering correctly, it was like SG. Well, at least if it wasn't the starters, it was at least 5 people in their lineup had what's it called? What do you call this? 15 plus points. So that was pretty cool. I was like, okay, that's a whole team involved. And then Miles Turner actually started taking Miles Turner on Indiana's side, on the Pacers side. He started taking control of the midi, sitting there commanding the mid range. He was doing a few step backs, pull ups, and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Game looked like it was a blowout. You know, it was weird because there were times where it was like Indiana was like fighting back. So these leads that would go up to 10 would get cut down to 8 and 6. But it's like they could have cut it down to 4. They're over here shooting threes, so they would be up 6. So there'd be times where like OKC was up 6 in like the second or some shit, first or second, I can't remember exactly. And then there's an open 3. So like if it's an open 3, you should take it. But they just kept missing the 3, and I was like, it could have been cut down to 4 if they just pulled up and hit the midi. But at the same time, if you're wide open, why not shoot the 3? So Indiana is like that kind of, they're that kind of team that's like you should be probably hitting the three. It was a tricky kind of game because in between plays, like the amount of lockdown defense, the amount of rebounding that was kind of happening. I seen some weird shit. Like there's also a weird play where like they're fighting for the rebound, it's getting juggled around. Literally, Miles Turner is the last person to touch it. Miles Turner is the Indiana Pacers, last person to touch it, but then they turn it over to Indiana, and it was like, okay, that was weird. And then the coach for OKC was getting ready to challenge it, and then before he can like sit there and hit the timeout and challenge it, they inbound the ball really quick. And then even though they inbound the ball really quick, I don't even remember if they scored. I think they turned it over. It was just like, damn, you beat the challenging call that would have gave OKC the ball, but at the same time, it's like you guys just didn't capitalize. So I don't know, man. In terms of a blowout, it was like, yeah, 20 plus, but there was these weird stretches where they would fight back. Even the bench fought back a little bit. So it's hard to really say like it was an actual. Um, they were just caught at a deficit, at times, and it was just like it was weird because Indiana would catch them slipping, but then OKC would just somehow just swishing all these fucking threes. Like they'd find a guy open. You see Indiana panicking on defense. You see them running all over the place, not getting to the guy real quick. It was just like it was like these moments that OKC capitalized on it, and then they made it. But that was like the biggest difference is for whatever reason, the accuracy for the Pacers just wasn't there. It was just like Indiana would they would be wide. So many times they're just wide open. So many times it's like they're double teaming someone else, and then they're just wide open hitting whatever. Even someone being close to like the paint, just hitting a straight floater and then missing it. It was just weird. But I don't know. The whole argument was like Tyrese Halliburton needing to take command of the game or take a little bit of control. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know, man. Even when he did, he tried his best, and then they still locked him down. It seemed like so. Whatever they did, whatever they figured out defensively this game, like they had it figured out. And not only that, it was like, what's his name? SGA had them field goals, man. Yeah, those field goals. He was just figuring it out today. And what made it crazy was he was dribbling for like a good 20 seconds per possession. I'm not saying like every possession, but every time he was in charge, bro, he was just dribbling for like 20 seconds, just taking his time. He was shaving time with the clock, and then he just stepped back, hit a midi, step back, pulled up, whatever. It was just crazy. I was like, bro, he's not missing right now. He's like 30 something, 40 something points. He was going in, and then like I said, last 2 minutes, that's when they were like, now we're done. So yeah, man, it was pretty good, man. It was like that around third and fourth quarter when they were really down. I can't remember the point differential. It was like 15-ish, 15 to 20. I'm forgetting about my numbers right here, but that's when I was like, bro, can they fight back? Had a little bit of fight, and it just stayed where it was. I was like, bro, it's like that though. You know what I mean? That's the way to win. Boring basketball is sometimes the way to win. I will say too, it's like last year, who do we have? The Celtics. So the Celtics were playing against who were they matched up against? Who was their matchup? Oh, Dallas. So the Mavericks. Obviously, the Mavericks, the way they play because of Luka, and then like all the people they had like in the paint from Gafford to PJ Washington and stuff like that. That whole combination of play was like exciting to watch because it's like they're kind of the underdog here compared to Boston, which is like a stacked team, but Boston is stacked with like so much skillful players where it's like their accuracy isn't going to have them miss or anything, if that makes sense. So what we're seeing in the most recent years is like Boston is winning a boring, they're winning in a very boring way. Like the boring gameplay and the boring type of basketball is what's winning, and that's what's getting the chip. I compared this. This is just my little whatever. I compared the Celtics to like the way San Antonio Spurs used to play, where it was like it's a very technical game. It's very like defensive. It's in the details of what they're doing to make these stops. You know what I mean? It's what they do on offense. It's the time they kill. It's time to shave off the clock. It's the positioning and the rotating they do out there. They're not exciting to watch like when you see Curry running around, tiring people out, pulling, from the logo and shit like that, just pulling up from the logo, or just like always being in the right areas, dishing it off, assists, all these crazy stuff. There's not really crazy movements that really win the game like that. But also defense, in the world of sports, defense just wins. You know what I mean? You'll see that a lot. Defense, like a good defense. If you just have pure good defense, like you're not gonna win because you need to score. You gotta score. You gotta hit. You gotta do whatever you gotta do. You know what I mean? In sports. But for this one, it's like it's strange because both teams are really good defensively. They battled other teams that are really good defensively, and then they kind of just came out on top. And Yeah, man, it's just weird. Like I'm trying to remember what was before Boston. Before Boston, it was Denver, right? So we had like trying to remember. It was Milwaukee. Then I want to say Denver, Boston, and then now OKC. So yeah, Milwaukee was like 2022. No, the Warriors were 2022. I'm tripping. Yeah, Warriors were 2022. Because I remember because my mom. It's crazy because the year before that the Bucks had won, and then it was like the Bucks, and then I remember when the Bucks won, they were selling these T-shirts that had all the players on it. They had all the players and the names and like a trophy, like a little finals trophy and whatnot. The crazy thing about that was, my mom was like, "Oh, you should buy me a shirt for the finals next year." I was like, "Just remember to buy me a shirt." That's what my mom told me. I'm like, "All right." Then she literally dies, and then maybe like a month later, the Warrior. I think she would have liked to having a Warrior shirt, but she just wasn't around to get the Warrior shirt. So that's just kind of how I remember because the Warrior we're literally watching the finals and grieving at the same time. And then after that, it was like Denver. Who do we see? Denver, Boston, and then it's going to be one of these two teams, but they're both kind of like, you know, in terms of Indiana and OKC, with them at the highest form, it's just a lot of defensive plays. It looks boring at times, but nonetheless, it gets the job done. You know what I'm saying? But it's still high scoring when you think about it. It's like anything from 110 plus. Although today is like 107. I think that was the highest that Indiana got. It was like 107, I think. 107 to 123. So, oh, and it's funny because there's some people on Sports Sphere that were hyped because I think 228 was the over. So if you got over 228, then yeah, you were good. So people are hyped, man. Some people's other numbers didn't hit based off of, stats and whatnot, percentages, whatnot. But I'm not really into all that. Like I have a cousin that's into the gambling stuff. She wins big here and there, but nonetheless, she'd be stacking up her tickets, which is um, it's probably like the best way to play. But I don't know much about it. I feel like I would just go for underdogs. So I'll stay away from betting. But yeah, I don't know. Like I don't know. Like I watched the game and I wasn't too hyped. Like I guess I was just like, it's this is the way to play. This is the way to play. You get your stops, you go down the line, you kill time if you're up, and you shoot and you make it. You know what I'm saying? And then you get your stops, you do it again. You do it over and over again. And they had so many timeouts to spare. What was strange was Carlisle doing that. It felt like there was. I could be wrong. It felt like there was momentum, at least like momentum that they needed to find. But Carlisle's the coach. He probably saw something and was like, I need to take this timeout now. They really only had like one timeout left. OKC still had four, and like I said, this is the fourth quarter. So you imagine like they had like by the end 2 to 3 timeouts to spare. They probably just took a timeout just to pull people out of the game, and they were just waiting for five. Anytime anyone got fouled, they would just swap people out of the line. Stuff like that. So it's really interesting, man. I like the way it turned out. Like I'm happy about it. You know, my bad. I'm hearing this. Okay, I was trying to figure out what the dog was, but yeah, I should have kept some stuff. Actually, when I do the Kill Tony thing, like I'm actually having some notes on hand nearby, so that's gonna be a plus. You know what I mean? That's gonna be the plus part about it. I guess like it's funny because the biggest thing is like being from Seattle. Like obviously, a handful of people. I can say a handful. Like most of us are like damn near rooting against the Thunder, but on the other hand, it's like I'm not mad at the players, bro. I'm not really mad at the players. Like the organization is what it is. On the other hand, it's like, bro, this team is stacked. Like that team, if they win, they deserve the ring. They deserve a championship. But at the same time, like everything that ensued, that like all this stuff, like them taking the franchise away from the city and having the nerve to try to send their banners and championships over there, even though like technically it is like the franchise transferring names. You know what I mean? Like just changing names and whatnot. Even though that's actually true, I feel like there's like a good enough case for even. I've heard this a lot from people who are fans of other teams, people who are from other cities, and were fans of just other teams, like, or that's their number one team, I should say. Even they were like, "Yo, Seattle deserves a team." It's no one really says that for Memphis. No one really says that. I'm probably the only person that really speaks about the justice for like the New Orleans Jazz. I feel like the Utah Jazz doesn't make sense. Obviously, they should go back to New Orleans. They shouldn't give them the damn Pelican. But it's been so long. Like the actual franchise of the Jazz has just transferred over to Utah for whatever reason, right or wrong. So it's just kind of strange. If you ask me, it's really strange. You know what I mean? It's really strange, and I don't know what to make of it. But I will say, like, it's happening. You know what I mean? Nonetheless, it's happening. Um, for both teams. You know, Utah's been to the finals twice against Michael Jordan, so obviously they lost twice. And then the other thing was, yeah, well, New Orleans, I guess the city itself is cursed. That's a whole other thing. That's a whole conversation of juju and whatnot. You know, bad, not Juju Watkins, but bad juju, things like that. Um, but yeah, man, I don't know what to, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? I don't know what to tell you. Crazy. Hold on, since somebody's here, let me hit it like this. Pause. Let me hit this. Damn, I hit the wrong one. My bad. Yo, move. Doing this right here. The green screen is terrible, actually. Terrible. I accidentally hit the highlight button. So, oh yeah, but I was saying, like, I was literally talking about it with a friend of mine earlier today at the Beyblade stuff, and he was saying, like, yeah, apparently there was like footage of like everyone at this bar cheering when Indiana won, you know, because there was so many people against OKC. But like I said, the team itself, they deserve this, man. I've been saying this for a while. Like, those are good players on that team. Jalen Williams, probably one of the best two-way players. But then you also have Alex Caruso, who's a veteran, and he played on that Los Angeles Lakers team when they won during the pandemic. So the bubble ring, the bubble coins. I mean, not coins, the bubble championship or whatever. Um, Caruso was part of that. I don't think there's anyone else. Well, Siakam is on Indiana, and he has championship experience playing with Kawhi. So that's probably like the. Well, I got to think about this. Who else was on that team? I want to say James Johnson was on the Heat. So James Johnson played for Miami when they won. I want to say he was there. Could be wrong because he played with UD. He played with Udonis. So I'm sure he was out there. But he's like, he's on the bench. He's like the veteran enforcer, or whatnot. Who am I forgetting? Who's in OKC, bro? It's mainly young people on the rotation. Got to think about this a bit. Yeah, I don't know. That's gonna mess me up a little bit, but that team is young, and then Carlisle himself, as a coach and whatnot, has experience. So that's what, and as a player and a coach, excuse me, because he was over here on the Celtics hella long ago. And then with the Mavericks, I didn't realize he was there on the Mavericks staff. Was he a coach or some shit, assistant coach, whatever? I forget exactly, bro. He was over there though, so he got three. He's got two rings, one as a coach and one as a player. You know what I'm saying? So they got the. I mean, I don't know. Each term, they got the depth. You know, it's not like those other teams. Like, we haven't seen Steve Kerr in a while show up to a finals. Last time was how many years ago? 3, 4 seasons ago. You know what I'm saying? Because since then it was Denver, Denver, Boston, and now this. But the interesting part was like, what was I gonna say? How do I put this? The rotation of OKC is one thing, man. You know what I mean? Casey Wallace today, like, see, the thing was, him as a defender has always been certified, solidified. Like, we've kind of just seen it throughout the season. Whether I pay attention to highlights and shit, but it's like, even without the highlights, even like in game, like when you're watching that shit, when you're watching his appearances, he has a presence out there, man. Especially like against guards and wings. I don't know if I should say centers, but I haven't really looked into it that much. But him pulling up on people, trying to hit the three in the corner, just running up and getting those blocks, man, he's gonna be a problem. He was the guy who was guarding Tyrese with the game-winning shot in last game, but like I said, pull back, long midi, and now we have this. Now we have what's it called? Yeah, we got this series, man. It's just really interesting. I don't know. There's not much to speak about. It was just fundamental defense, man. That's really what it was, fundamental defense. But at the same time, you know, making players uncomfortable. The amount of times people are getting, turnovers and then running back down the court to score was a thing. You know what I mean? The amount of time that was going on, and there wasn't no ISO ball. There was actually a lot of rotating on Indiana's side. Indiana was rotating offensively. You could see them at the top of the key, kind of just passing the ball over and over. Triangle offense kind of thing. But yeah, it was really interesting, man. It was really I don't know. I'm really trying to think about if there was any flaws. I mean, when you think about it, they really did their best. I don't know. I don't know what Indiana is, man. It's just like for me, you just got to make the open shot, man. If you're wide open and you're missing a three, that's the problem, bro. You think about the wide open threes that they had, all the wide open shots. Like they had someone around them with no defenders, basically. All defenders about 10 feet away at the minimum. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. It's just like, bro, the motherfuckers is hella far away and you can't make nothing. That's crazy. So who knows, man? It could have been that. That's they always say this is a aspect is the atmosphere of being in the away arena. But they went. It's crazy because they went through that. They fought through it last game. Like I said, they kept it real close and they won by one. That's all you got to win by is one. Well, I don't know. This one's a little different, man. This one turned out a little different. Yeah, 1 second. Hold on. I gotta check this. All right, we're doing real good on time. It's also crazy because it's like it's they've been spacing it like 3 days or something like that. So the first one was Thursday, so it'd have been Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So like on the third day, which would have been today, right? They did another, or they did game two, excuse me, and then the next one is Monday, Tuesday. Was yeah, so it's another 3 days. It's like this weird spacing. I think they're kind of just working around, because the what do you call this shit? The Stanley Cup is happening right now too, so they're working around Edmonton and Florida having their fly-ins back to back. So it's just a weird thing where like, obviously ABC Channel 4 is working around NBA Finals. If they're not doing that, then they're doing some other stuff. You know what I mean? It's tricky, man. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm trying to spend these weeks tapping in with people and meeting them. You know what I'm saying? Trying to talk to them more about what's happening here. My bad. 1 second. But yeah, it was yeah, ain't much to say about it, man. Ain't really ain't much left to say about it. I thought I was gonna have like, oh, this was a crazy play right here, but a lot of it was just like Chet Holmgren sitting there, tall as hell, getting these blocks that were necessary. You know what I'm saying? Hartenstein making a difference. Actually, another crazy aspect was start of the third. Let's say not even 2 minutes, barely 2 minutes in, and I forget who's on Chet, bro. It was a dude. I forgot who was for Indiana, bro. It's gonna bug me. But he pretty much drew 2 fouls out of Chet early. You know what I'm saying? Beginning of the third quarter. That was a big thing because it sat him down for a while. But like I said, the rotation was who? Hartenstein. Hartenstein comes in, he steps up. Same thing, getting rebounds, making sure he's bullying down the paint. But he's also facilitating when Chet comes back in. Now they have a 4-5 run. You know what I'm saying? Hartenstein turning into a power forward, but he's at the top of the key, just dishing it, getting them alley oops. So it's just you start catching this stuff. You're starting to see like, okay, it doesn't matter who is getting close to foul trouble. Their rotation can cover, pretty much everyone. And then you're bringing someone in with fresh legs, and they're all young, so they're coming in healthy. It's just crazy, man. It's ridiculous. A couple of missed those couple of missed threes, those wide open threes. Would they have added up? Like think about it, if they're down 20, let's say they missed about 5 of them. So then you're down 15 points. Your confidence is a little different if you're down 5. But also, let's say you're missing 15 points compared to um, those moments that you were down 6. You know what I'm saying? So the difference would have been you might have been up 11 at some points, but they never had the lead. I don't think they might have wrestled for the lead in the first, like I said, first quarter, but at no point did they really command the lead. Like second, third, fourth, nah, they were just trailing the whole time, fighting for their lives, obviously. But yeah, man, it's a trip. It's a trip, man. I think it's gonna be a good series though. What's really gonna prove it to us is like obviously if Indiana wins at home, game 3, then we know that we got a real series on our hand. But if Indiana, like I said, if Indiana can win game 3 and 4 at home, securing the wins at home, that's gonna mean something. Um, but bro, the fact that they went back to the fact that they're 1-1 in OKC, that lets us know like Indiana can take one in your home court. So if they can protect home, you know what I'm saying, at the same time score in OKC, that's gonna be a good sign right there in the long run at least. And that's what I'm saying. Everyone's healthy. There's nobody close to no injury report. Their starting fives are all in good health, bro. they're not playing like maliciously either. That's the other thing too. It's like as much as SGA is supposedly a free throw merchant, bruh's not like closing out when people are hitting threes, fucking up people's ankles and shit. Like they're not doing no foul shit. They're fouling, but they ain't doing no like dirty shit. Is what I'm trying to say. So we'll see what happens, bro. We'll see what happens. Let me toss this right here. And get to moving. I got my tissue still. Let me toss the tissue, bro. But yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to, bro. You're gonna see. That's what I'm saying. It's weird that they space it out 3 days. I don't know why necessarily. Oh, there's hella rabbits. Hold on. Y'all see the rabbits? Hell of them right there. Yeah, man. There's like three of them. One ran hella far though. Oh no, he's right there. Hold on. He's still there. You see that one on the left, and then boom. Yeah, there's like three rabbits. Let me walk over a bit. It's warm today though, man. I don't know what they were saying. Like they were saying like 85 feels like 91, 85 feels like 92. And I was walking down. Like I said, I was over here at the recapping life a bit down by the in Chinatown. So at the Beyblade meet, doing that thing over there, and I'm like about to make a little store run, just grab some onigiri, and maybe I think I grabbed a ramune. I forget. Anyway, I go over there, and I'm like, bro, this is it's hot. It's like but also like we just jumped. Well, for me at least, it jumped like 10 degrees or something. It was like, bro, I wasn't ready for this. Yesterday wasn't too bad. It was kind of the same thing though. I'll say that much. Yesterday was kind of like the same. But where was I? Hold on. Yesterday was Saturday. I feel like I was indoors most of the time. You know what I mean? Like I was indoors. I was checking on somebody, and then like I went and transferred down to Sumner. And while I was on the bus, like the bus had like crazy cool AC, so the AC was like just blasting. But then as soon as I get to the church where the event is at, they got another thing going on. You know what I mean? They had a whole thing going on of AC in there and like fans and stuff. So I just didn't really feel the heat that day. You know what I mean? Didn't get a chance to go through it. Um, and then today, like literally just walking out. I don't know if it might have been also because the sun was like right above me, but also I'm facing it. I was like, bro, this is hot. It's a big ass jump for me. It's like 10 degrees, bro. But if it's like this for the rest of summer, I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be happy. I was looking forward to this weather anyway. You know, I was looking forward to, man. You know, 3 months at least. It's just like I said this. Matter of fact, about three. Matter of fact, like start of every summer, the pollen will happen, bro. Like this pollen will kick in, and it'll be like heavy. Like you'll literally see a bunch of it, just a bunch of spores, pollen, where the fuck, just flying through the air. Hell of it. I'm like, bro, this is too much. It's getting to be too much right now. I can't lie. Like I'm over here just dying. That's how it feels. But really, it's just congestion of just like mucus and phlegm and all that. And I'm like, bro, this is nasty. As I spit. So I don't know, man. Got me thinking about life. Life a little bit, man. But it's nice, man. Everybody outside. It's hella warm. Seeing everybody. Actually, it's funny. I will say too. There was this one. There's this one girl. She frequents the shop. She's friends with one of the people that we played with, and kind of we met them and we introduced ourselves today. But one of my friends came back from out of town, and they were coming back from college. So they were doing college somewhere in Europe. They came back. Everybody's introducing themselves to each other. And she's like, "Yeah, I don't know. Like when it gets warmer, You know, she was saying, no, excuse me, they were saying something about the weather of like always wearing shorts year round anyway, unless it goes below 20. That was their whole thing. And then the lady that we met, actually, I don't know if they're a lady, they might be a kid, but she was like, you know, it's funny, I always wear 5 layers. So she has like this weird kind of like outfit. I don't know if it's like a schoolgirl uniform, but like the top layer is like obviously there's something underneath, and then some type of shirt, cardigan over the top, and it's just like, bro, you got 5 layers and it's this hot. That's crazy. But then you know, it's like it's like a school uniform, so they have a skirt. But I'm like, still, that's too much, man. Like, I just have a t-shirt on. You know what I mean? But I sweat easy. That's different. I sweat a little easy, but I'm just like, you got 5 layers just to be stylish. I don't know. I'm not mad at that though. But it was nice meeting them. You know, I'm not saying this in a bad way. It was nice meeting them. I just couldn't imagine having 5 layers in the 90-degree weather. I'm like, bro, this is different. But some people are used to it. You know what I mean? On different stuff. I used to be that type of person though. Like literally every year, just year round, just wearing jeans. It'd be like 90, 95, 98 degrees. It's just jeans, you know, socks, jeans, socks, and like I was always doing like if it's not a mid top shoe, it'll be like Tim's or something like that. So I was doing that year round too. You know what I mean? How's it going? So I don't know. I guess I can kind of understand it, but I guess as more time goes on, it's just really comfortable. It's more comfortable to have like breathable clothes and uh less. What's the word I'm looking for? Less layers. I don't know what the word is. Less of a nuisance because then you don't want to walk around all sweaty. You know, I used to do that though. I used to just walk around sweating, bro, all the time, just layers like hoodies on and stuff. Hoodies in the not in the summer, but you know, in the heat, just in the heat in general. But yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I do wear layers when I train in the summer. I'm fighting back this sneeze right here. Oof. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, bro. We'll see, man. Finals wasn't too exciting. I'll be honest with you. One second, hold on, let me mute. Try to fight the sneeze, man. Like I said, every time I get outside, I'm sneezing like crazy right now. Crazy right now, bro. Yeah. I need to tap in really and do another I don't know if I'm gonna do it right after this, but I might do it you know, tomorrow morning. You know, hit more live streams with just thought process of where I'm at. It feels good when I do more live streams throughout the day. You know what I mean? I personally enjoy it because I can just focus on what needs to be said. Excuse me, focus on what I need to say. Instead of thinking about what needs to be said. You know, right now is a live stream where I feel like I need to think about what needs to be said, but I'm only thinking that, you know, thinking that deep about stuff like that. I'm trying to let it flow a bit. That's why it's funny because I'm really trying to think about the finals, like what I just watched in game two, and I'm like, that's kind of underwhelming, man. Wasn't none too crazy. You know, if you're an OKC fan, the thing was, if you're an OKC fan, you were excited in game one. So if you're a Thunder fan, game one had you excited until the last 0.3 seconds, which is funny as hell. But then today is like, okay, that's how you close it out. That's what you're supposed to do right there. All right, give me a second. I gotta rip this tissue. I'm on mute again because I'm blowing my nose. Give me a second. Yep, there it is. Gotta find a garbage or something. Got one there, but I'm trying to backtrack. Yeah, I'm getting murked out here, man, with the pollen. It got me. Pollen got me. Yeah. But that's my thing too. Is like if you're if you're an OKC fan, like the like majority of both games, you were excited. So it's like you were always in the lead, but then yeah, it's just that all it took was 0.36. That's all it takes, man. You just continue fighting. You got that one team just continuing to be a pest throughout the whole game. That's all it takes. I don't know if they got a garbage can here. Shit, I don't see one. I have to go up the street. Fuck, I didn't want to go up the street. But what was I gonna say? So yeah, you know, there's a piece of me that's a bit biased a bit. I have a bit of a bias simply because like I'm not what's it called? Like I don't have a team right now. Like none of these teams I'm rooting for necessarily, but there's a saltiness where I'm like I don't really want the Thunder to win. You know, I mean, part of me is because I always talked shit a long time ago. Like, man, the Thunder's cursed, man, because it's a stolen franchise. They'll never win. Because in theory, you know, the um the Jazz have never won, but on the other hand, it's like the Lakers technically won, and they left Minneapolis. You know what I'm saying? But that's LA. That's Los Angeles. But again, you also got to think, Minneapolis is one thing, but Los Angeles, that's Los Angeles money. That's Los Angeles politics right there. That's a whole different thing. And it always threw me off because I didn't never thought about it. I was like, yeah, there's no lakes in Los Angeles like that. Not that I know of, but Minneapolis is like the land of the, thousand lakes, Great Lakes and whatnot. So it kind of makes sense. Well, it's just funny stuff like that where it's like, you're trying to create these theories that make sense in your head, but it doesn't really play out that way. So because of that, I don't want to be a hater. You know what I'm saying? I'm basically not trying to be a hater and like, this team doesn't deserve to win. I hate these guys. Like, nah, I feel a way. I feel a way emotionally. I can admit that. But I will say, like, you got to put emotions to the side and ask yourself, does this team deserve it? Yeah, if they're playing this hard, if they defend this hard, if they shut down Minnesota, you know what I'm saying? Who else did OKC play? I think Memphis or something. Then they battled against Denver. They battled against the Nuggets. So you're telling me that these teams don't deserve it because they battled this hard, simply because they have an emotional attachment to the, hold on, man, to the Sonics. You know what I'm saying? Right here, man. I got the shorts on right now. I got the Sonic shorts right here. And if I could find a mirror, I could show you my phone case. You know what I'm saying? If I had a mirror, I'll show you the phone case. Because the back of my phone case is the Sonics. Again, I stay repping the Sonics, but just because I got, think about that. Just because I got love for the Sonics, and just because I have my little theories about life, and I'm a little emotional about it, that's enough reason to hate on our team. I don't think so. So I put that pride and shit to the side. I put that pride and emotion to the side, and I let people know, like, hey, man, despite how people feel, man, you got to give love to this team. SGA fought this hard. He used to be on the Clippers. You know what I'm saying? Actually, if you listen to Patrick Beverly's podcast, Pat Bev and Roan were talking about it's interesting because Shea used to want to sit there and try to club with those guys back in the early days, and like, you ain't coming out with us, bro. Save your money. You're not coming out with us. You need to stay focused. It's your first couple of years. You can't afford to be out here clubbing, and like, look at him now. He stayed focused, man. They kept him away from the clubs. They kept them away from the what do you call this? That's what you see. Tyrese Halliburton was over there struggling alongside De'Aaron Fox on the Sacramento Kings. They got rid of Domantas Sabonis in Indiana. I almost forgot about this because I was like barely paying attention to Indiana at that time. I was like, Miles Turner was always there, so Miles Turner was like, he's a reliable center. But to see and watch like Sabonis leave the Pacers and then kind of turn into the player that he was, where he was like one of the all stars slash you know playoff kind of a problem in the playoffs, man. And then Tyrese Halliburton slowly turning into the person he was. They added Pascal Siakam from Toronto. You know what I'm saying? Like when you watch this stuff, when you watch it play out, and then you see what happens here. Isaiah Hartenstein used to be on the New York Knicks. Instead of rotating, you got to remember, man, they used to have a different type of rotation before they added Cat, before they added Karl-Anthony Towns. It was pretty much they had Mitchell Robinson, Isaiah Hartenstein, and who was my other guy that was over there? But you know what I'm saying? Like it's just the rotation was different. And you could also kind of think like the Bulls? Alex Caruso left the Bulls, so there was a lot of trades being made, but then a lot of chemistry with a lot of play. I was telling this to someone. I was like, some of the best teams right now are the ones that have the least amount of ego. You know what I mean? That's why the Celtics kind of, the way it happened was like, bro, they're not. It's almost like they're waiting to go against the Pacers because they got called out. Also, they swept them. But even then, they get tired of playing with their food. So it's like a weird team. Like they're so skillful. Like they should be in the finals, but it's just something about it, man. But it's weird because the way that they play, it's like the moment they step up, that's when they start getting injured. Like Jason Tatum was like moving a little harder, pause, and he was just sitting there playing a little more defense, and then just a non-contact injury happened to his Achilles. Like it's just kind of crazy that way. But then Jalen Brown, same thing. Like for the 2 games remaining where they had to battle against New York, he was pushing it as hard as he can or as hard as he could, and it was like he kind of I don't think he's injured, but he's a little hurt. He's a little battered right now and bruised. So not battered and bruised, but he's a little hurt from that game. I think it was game 6 or something. So game 6 or game 5, I forget what game it was, but he's a little hurt. So there's a pacing that they have to play at. You know what I'm saying? There's a different type of pacing, but that team, you got to imagine you're under the Celtics franchise. You're under the fact that you just won a championship the year before. So there's a different type of ego attached to it. Also, the fact that like Brown has stayed, Tatum has stayed. You know what I'm saying? There's a different type of whatever. But these guys haven't won a chip yet. I mean, you could say Caruso and Siakam won a chip, but they were like guys that were rotating on the bench at times. You know what I'm saying? And they were. I mean, Siakam was a starter though. Siakam was a starter in Toronto, but Caruso was like a guy that was starting for the Lakers when they won, and then he was just kind of rotating in and out the bench in Chicago, but also rotating in and out the bench in OKC. So he's just a guy that doesn't have ego, and he's taking command of defense as much as he is scoring. So it's really like when you really like look at these teams, it's like people that really get the team involved, man. Tyrese is a great facilitator. He doesn't always need to score. You know what I'm saying? Halliburton does not always need to score. So it's shit like that. And then Neesmith, like he almost saved the game today. What are those threes? But it was just like it's never enough if the other team can score as well as they can defend, bro. And there's no ego about it, man. Just make sure you're guarding your man and your people are where they're supposed to be. So then, if you ever get the rebounds or the turnovers, you just throw the ball upwards type of shit. And that's what Halliburton did in game 1. Game 1, and he also did that against New York when you watch it closely. But it's just small things here and there. Like I said, I'm not an expert at this, but I'm kind of just doing the eye test and the fact that I've been a fan of just watching the game and all the playoffs for all these years. Like it's just kind of fun to watch. Also, you know what actually stepped up my knowledge is if you watch Mind the Game, which is LeBron James and Steve Nash's podcast. If you watch Mind the Game, there's a lot of knowledge that they're kind of saying in there. It's a lot to consume at one time, pause, but at the same time, it's just like it's there nonetheless. It's all there, man. It's like there's a lot of information that slowly starts to make sense. Like I even heard I don't remember if it was Doris Burke or whoever her name is, but she was talking about something about the nail, moving around the nail and shit like that, center and all that stuff. So there was all this weird terminology that was being used or utilized in the commentary today. So that was kind of interesting. But yeah, whoever chilling in the chat, man, what's up, man? What y'all doing, man? Appreciate y'all hanging out, chilling with me, man. I'm over here just on a Sunday night. It's actually real warm, so I'm actually happy to be outside. Bro, I got a t-shirt and shorts on type shit. Normally, see, I used to be out here. I don't know if you guys know when I used to do my little live streams. I used to sit at this very same bench, kind of just complaining about life sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I used to even call friends. I wasn't even doing live streams. I would just call my friends and talk to them, bitch and moan at this bench or this street, this specific street right here, and I'd be bundled up, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like tank top underneath, t-shirt over that, hoodie, and then like a little down jacket over the top. But right now it's summertime, man, or pretty much, it's technically not summer solstice yet because today is the 8th. But the fact that it's this warm today and the fact that it's a warm summer night, like I can't even trip, man. It's been real good. Um, I'm happy and I'm thankful, you know what I'm saying? So I'm very thankful and grateful for everyone that's kind of checking in with me and tapping in with my content and whatnot. So I appreciate everyone checking in on Bray. You know what I'm saying? I really need that right now. Any form of level of support, one view at a time, 2 views at a time, we do a one at a time type thing, you know what I'm saying? 7.3, that's my number. I'm looking at that 7.3, man. You know what I'm saying? Ty, what's going on, bro? Ty, what's going on, bro? You know what's crazy, Ty? I appreciate you being here because literally when I started talking about gratitude, you showed up in the chat. So I appreciate you, Ty, man. Thank you for dropping in on me, bro. How you been doing, man? You still playing sports, my guy? Were you collecting cards too? Let me know. Remind me if you're collecting cards, man. Let me know what's going on. Also, let me know if you're watching the finals right now, NBA finals, or let me know if you're watching the Stanley Cup too, Stanley Cup and everything. Let me know what's going on with you, bro. I appreciate you dropping in, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, my guy Cal Raleigh for Seattle Mariners. That's my team right there. I think he's leading right now in the most home runs in the season. So they give that man a break today. They gave him a break, and then the team finally won. I was like, yo, it's crazy, man. Forgot who it was. It was like Kirby or Gilbert or somebody came back and the game started, hitting it. Are you still with the sports? All right, man. You still playing? That's good to hear. Yeah, man. I like that. Yeah, every now and again there be some people that actually they stay tapped in and play sports and they tap in with the live and stuff. You're finding your flow of hits, man. What do you play at, man? Crazy, man. Do you do outfield stuff? What you do on the outfield? Yeah. There's another kid that come in here. I think he's like a sophomore or a junior or something like that. He plays football, so that's pretty cool. You know, some people tap in and check in with me sometimes. I like that. I'm doing my best. Like I said, I'm doing my best out here. Personally myself, man. I'm over here just getting my as many hours in as I can right now. Tap in with my thoughts out loud type thing. My battery's doing really good. You're a catcher first. Oh, oh, for first and third. I see what you're saying. For first and third. Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think. The only person in my family, well, my niece played softball. That's different, obviously, than like actual baseball. No offense, but it's like a little different, obviously. Different ball, different, underhand tosses or whatnot. But um, yeah, that's what they be playing. But that's like the only person in my family that played anything like that. I'm trying to think if I had other cousins that played baseball seriously. My brother said he liked playing during gym class, but obviously he wasn't taking it that serious. But I guess it's like a hard game to play, man. You know what I mean? Pause on that. But it's like it's really hard to play because it's like um I want to buy a mitt, bro, because next time I go to the games, I've always sit in right field. I like to sit in right field sometimes, and if I'm this is the thing, I wish I had more income coming in because if I could sit there and what's it called get buy a mitt, just buy a baseball mitt and then sit. I used to sit in the hundred sections in right field, just like far right field, and there was one game we went to. There was like two or three home runs that flew in our section. So and two of them are from the Baltimore Orioles. So it would, either way would have been nice. I think one of them was from the Mariners, but two of them was from Baltimore. But just sitting in that right field like that, those home runs would just come in your direction, and like it just, we happened to go to one of those mid-afternoon games, so the sun is like right in our faces. I can't see shit. I'm like looking up. I had shades on. I'm like, bro, it's bright as hell, but the ball was coming down so fast, Pauls, and I'm like, yeah, man, it's just crazy. So we're just watching it. But these kids that were sitting like literally two seats in front of us, or excuse me, two or three rows in front of us, and they got two home run balls. I was like, bro, they're having a hell of a night right now. Yo, pause the whole conversation. I'm sorry. Hella stuff. But yeah, been trying to find where the fuck you been, bro. I've been here the whole time, man. I've been doing lives damn near every day, if not every other day, man. Let me grab a drink real quick. I've been here the whole time, man. But yeah, I'll go live, every now and again. I'll hit the Monster Hunter live. I hit there was some days where I damn near did like somewhere between 6 to 8 live streams throughout the day, like just hitting them back to back, on pause, just in there doing as many hours as I can. It'd be random days. There was like a week where I might have took 3 or 4 days off, and then I probably didn't do one of these since Thursday. I want to say Thursday or Friday. I forget what day it was because I think Friday. I'm sorry, I'm fighting back a sneeze right now. Ooh, I got blow my nose. I already know it. I can feel it. But I did one Thursday night because I was recapping, the Pacers, when the Pacers beat the Thunder, and then let me see. Friday I missed out. Saturday I had a tournament, so I didn't do anything. And then today I actually went to a casual meetup, so it took out a lot of energy from me just going to the Beyblade stuff. But afterwards, I watched the game, and then here I am just trying to tap in and do my recap. So I might do another recap tomorrow night, but I might do it Tuesday morning. We'll see how I play things out, but we'll see how it goes. It really depends on the schedule. I might do things Monday night. We'll see. You said, "Can you tell me something?" Listen, it depends what you're planning to tell me, man. It really depends what you're planning to tell me. Like if it's gonna be some crazy stuff, like it's emergency related, like you got to be careful with that, man. I had someone tell me something crazy last chat, and then it kind of sent, the chat was kind of censored, but I just talked to them personally still. But I was like, just be careful, man. Just be careful what you write, you know. But if it's a dire situation, you gotta take care of it. But I'm here, man. I'm listening. Otherwise, until otherwise, I should say. You know what am I felt? Go ahead and type it down. I'm gonna just check something. All right, that was like an hour ago. 64. Okay. We had a oh what? You had a pool party for your teammate moving to Carolina. That sounds nice. That sounds pretty good. Well, wait, which Carolina? You talking about North or South? I just thought about that. North or South? Yeah. Actually, what like I've always transferred when I like let's say like Charlotte or something. That's always been my layover area. Like when I'm flying, that's like one of my transfer spot. What do you call this? Is that layover? Is that what it's called? Like when you're transferring. So like let's say I'm trying to get to Iowa. Like for some reason they sent me to Charlotte, and then Charlotte sends me to Iowa. Or like if I'm going to Florida, I think I was in Charlotte before, and then from Charlotte you go to Florida. But sometimes I went from Seattle to uh, Charlotte, and then Charlotte to New York or something like that. I don't really remember, dude. But that's because of the jet stream. The jet stream you have to go like in certain directions and whatnot. What's going on, Alex John? I'm gonna just say Alex, bro. I'm gonna just say Alex, bro. What's going on, man? Appreciate you dropping in, bro. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate everybody dropping in on me, saying what's up. I'm questioning whether I should go like another hour or not, but I might have ended at an hour because I gotta go home and record some more some gameplay and whatnot. But Ty, man, what's going on with your friend, man? He's moving. Why is he moving though? Is it like does his family get a better job, or they're just moving on with life? What's going on with that, man? Yeah. Oh, here we go. Okay, do you mind if I say it out loud? I'm gonna read it first, all right? Okay, okay. I'm gonna read it out loud. Let me know if you want me to read that out loud or not. People can go to the live chat anyway, but if you're okay with it, go ahead. All right. He said on the last day of school, his crush told him she likes him because at your fifth grade graduation, his mom said something to her parents. So yeah, so it's kind of crazy. Like, I, the older I get, I realize like how often parents speak to each other. You know what I'm saying? Parents are like talking to each other all the time. Like you, as a student, I'll speak for myself. As a student, you don't really think about it, but yeah. So, wait, are you saying that your parents were telling? Did your parents tell on you to their parents? Like, were your parents talking to her parents, talking about, oh yeah, he likes her? Like, were they just kind of saying, oh, I kind of see what you're saying. I kind of see. Yeah, yeah, that's tricky, man. But it's funny how parents talk like that, though, man. You'd be surprised, man. Sometimes as a kid, you think they're not listening. You be thinking parents don't be paying attention to the little stuff, but they know what's going on. You got to go to sleep, but can I go live tomorrow? Alex, I'm gonna try to go live tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna try to do as much as I can in the morning and then afternoon, but we'll see how it goes because it's gonna be some nice weather, Alex. So I'm gonna try to be outside much as possible. Get my just walk around. That's what I'm trying to tonight. I'm gonna record some gameplay so that way I can have a lot of stuff to upload when I'm sitting at the library tomorrow. So, but I'm gonna work on some stuff. I'm gonna work on a few things here and there. But yeah, Todd, man, just it's funny, man. You'd be surprised, bro. It be feeling like a betrayal too. I ain't gonna lie. Like it's funny, but it feels like a betrayal where it's like, damn, my parents this whole time knew that about me and they start telling on me. But sometimes it be feeling like that. But be surprised, man. I'm kind of oblivious though. I'm an oblivious type person. Like I don't be realizing stuff until like a year or two later. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, my back's kind of itchy. What the fuck? It be like that, man. It be like that, bro. Hold on, let me get some drink. I'm just trying to fight back these sneezes right now. That's funny as hell though. So what you about to pop the question? Like, is she feeling you too? Like, what's going on with that, bro? You might just ask her, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you something funny. A lot of the spaces I go to, like Beyblade wise, and you know things like that, I'm kind of like I'm turning 32 this year, but because I'm in certain hobby spaces, I'm kind of one of the oldest people there. So like it's weird sometimes because I run into people that I'm like, I don't know how old they are. Also, it's like a hobby space where it's like if it's not a kids game, it's also like adults bringing their kids or whatever. So sometimes when I see the adults that bring their kids, I know I can talk to them if needed. But like some of these other kids, you just don't know. But it's also weird being at like a age point where, like people just talking to you all types of ways and stuff. I was thinking about that today because I realized amongst my friends, like they're all about like anywhere from 5 to 10 years younger than me. I'm like, bro, what's going on here? But that's Beyblade for you. So the lesson is just say what you want to say. Yep, like my crush got highlights, and I wanted to say it to my crush that it was beautiful, and I was scared. So, oh, I see what you're saying. So then your mom said that to her parents. That's a good thing, though, man. Hell yeah, you got to get those lines of communication through. I say this all the time, man. Like, see, like, you know what I like about that is like it's harmless. You know what I mean? It's really harmless. It's actually a sweet thing because sometimes it's important to let people know you appreciate them. I had a friend like that. She used to crush on me all the time, and I was very, mindful and cognizant to like, never take advantage of my friendship with her, which I never did. But it was just harder for her because she was more emotional about it. But there were times I had to like, I kind of look back and I was like, I should have just let her know I appreciated her art, her singing voice, things like that. Just whatever she was doing, like more often, because I was kind of like, I don't want to say it because then she's gonna fall in love with me. I don't want to do that to her, but I kind of understood that. I was like, she deserves to hear that nonetheless. You know what I'm saying? So even on a standpoint of whether or not you end up dating this crush or not, yeah, man, it's important to let people know how you feel about them. So if you felt like what she was doing, highlight wise, sports wise, whatever, yeah, you gotta let people know. Be right. Oh yeah, all right, man. I'm chilling, bro. I'm chilling for a couple more minutes. You know, I'm chilling right now. So, yeah. But yeah, that's one thing, man. I'm gonna leave y'all with that, man. If you don't come back in time, one thing I really realized about myself was like, looking back, man, it's just important to let people know you love them. I mean, there's a thin line between letting people know that they're appreciated and then wanting to possess them, if that makes sense. You don't have to like, oh, that's my girlfriend or that's someone I own type of. You don't have to tap into that feeling necessarily. Sometimes it gets really possessive because it's like love and passion there, but you'll find, bruh, like you'll find moments where like, how do I explain this? Like, oh, there's hella little birds, but you'll find these moments where like, I think they're playing a game right here. People just need to hear it, and it goes to a good. Oh, Graydon, what's going on, man? Talk to me about them coins, man. You still out camping? Let me know if you're still out camping, my guy. I think if this is a birthday party, it might be. What's going on, Graydon? You come back from camp? Oh, let me know, man. I got a whole thing. Oh, but yeah, I'm walking through the park, man. So if it's loud, let me know. I'm just trying to throw away my bottle for the recycle real quick. I could have went around, damn. But yeah, that's one thing I gotta take my own advice, even as I'm thinking about it. So I appreciate you bringing that up, Ty. I appreciate that, Ty, because you know, even myself, man, I'll be running to people that say stuff that I kind of wish they had said years ago. But that's why I try to do my best to say to people now, just in general, remind people that they're good at what they do and they did something good. You know what I mean? When people are doing good in the now, man, you gotta let them know. That's also my thing too. When I start recapping the sports stuff, you know, when I'm doing like videos like this where I'm recapping the sports and putting the date on it, etc. I want to be very mindful because I could very well be one of them channels that's just sitting there talking shit and trashing a basketball player, and I can't even fucking dunk. You know what I'm saying? My handles are like, you know what I'm saying? I can dribble, but I don't know how to do it against a defender. But I'm over here talking shit about like a basketball player. You see what I'm trying to say? I'll talk shit about a boxer though. I'll tell you that right now. When it comes to boxing, I'm talking big shit. I'm you know what I'm saying, motherfucker. Boxers be. I'll be boxing for a long time. Not as much as these other people, but motherfuckers be so emotional in boxing, so I feel okay doing it. Like that's my sport. That's something I really do. So I'll sit there and do that because I'll sit there and go head up with you. Why not? It's kind of fun. But you know, on the other hand, that's what I'm trying to say on the sports aspect, on that side of things. You know what I mean? I want to make sure like I'm recapping it in the most positive way because I have nothing bad to say. You know, I try not to get into all that. You know what I'm saying? Graydon, how you been, man? Let me know how you been. I've been doing all right actually. Graydon, I've been kind of on and off. Some days I'm like, if I'm not feeling sick, it's like allergies or something. Like it's just kind of like a lot. So I just know my body needs to rest. So I won't go live all the time, but there's been a couple of days like last week where I went as much as possible. Pause, you know what I'm saying? But I was doing the best that I could, most that I could. I also subbed to your channel, Graydon. I saw the coins, excuse me, and all that. I like what's going on there, man. Like I don't know much about the coins, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know much about coins, so it's kind of cool that I found your channel. And I'll tell you guys something funny too. I'm over here on the bus riding back home, and I'm listening to Sports Fury in the back. I'm in the back of the bus listening to Sports Fury. Game 2, Indiana versus OKC. But at the same time, I seen these dudes that had skateboards. So I started saying, I was like, man, y'all skate crew, what's going on? He said, yeah. I was like, man, y'all got a YouTube channel? He said, this guy right here. I was like, bro, it's your YouTube channel. I pulled it up. I showed him. I subscribed to it. I was like, yep, all right, I'm gonna tap in. So yeah, I found, I be finding people in person too. I found you, but I also found, don't retract the message, man. No, don't retract the message. Come on, bro. I seen it. I seen it. I seen it. Oh, you spelled it wrong? Is that what it was? It's all good, man. Typos happen, man. It's just a typo. But yeah, I was gonna say you said you found a silver and coin rolls. That's okay. I read that wrong the first time actually. But yeah, man, I'll be like literally from doing this, right? I'll just tell like I told you, I'll tell people, yeah, just leave me a comment. I'll check out your channel if it's decent. I'll follow. I'll follow back. If it's some kiddie stuff, I probably won't care. There's a lot of kids that tell me to follow for follows. Like send me a comment. I'll check it out. You know what I'm saying? And then literally in life, in real life, I'll talk to people and I'll find their channels too. So that's just what I'd be doing. Oh shit. There's hella flies up in here, dude. Yeah, I gotta go home though. And the more I think about it. Well, what time is it? Damn, it's still kind of bright. It's like 9:11 right now. There's a taco truck I want to go to. I might go there tomorrow, but I really need to save money. I gotta stop spending money. You know, gotta start applying for these new spots and whatnot. Things like that. And dude, but yeah, man. So yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Back to letting people know, you love and appreciate them, whether you know them or not. Showing that love and appreciation in the moment, and this moment in time, before time gets too late. You never got a chance to say anything to nobody. You know what I'm saying? One of my friends who's dead, he let me know. That's part of the story too. He let me know to keep the name Cinco Bang. Like we used to sit there, go to the studio together. You know, matter of fact, strangely enough, you guys might know Andrew Callahan. Andrew Callahan does Channel 5 News, but we used to go to his studio, like me and my homie Bati. And then Bati passed away, but before Bati passed away, he ran into me, and then he said, I ran to him. Well, I ran to him and his brother at this one. It's hard to explain. It's like this Asian grocery store. I said, "What's going on, man? What's going on with you, bro? You still rapping? What's going on?" He said, "Yeah, man. You still doing it too?" I was like, "I'm trying to make some right now." He said, "Hey, man, don't ever change your name, bro. That Cinco Bang shit, that shit crazy. Keep that name." I was like, "What?" Yeah. Hey, yo, hold on. Watch this. Oh shit. What about now? What about now? My bad. My bad. My bad. My bad. How long was it no sound? I might have hit the wrong button. That's what it was. Did you hear it? Did you hear all that or no? I hit the wrong button. Did you hear me talk about the rabbit, the baby rabbit? Since the animal, all I was saying was I thought that was a rat. I thought that was a little rat rolling on the ground because the cat was swiping at it. And then I turned the camera on, and then it froze for a second. Okay, and then you saw the baby rabbit running away. The baby rabbit ran away, and then the cat was chasing it. That was crazy. But I'm always catching these moments, bro. You saw, you saw, yeah. That was crazy, right? You saw it bouncing around. That was crazy as hell. But cats be killing. I'm telling you, man, cats be killing for fun. They kill for sport. They don't do it to survive. Cats don't kill to, like, oh, I gotta survive. I gotta eat to survive. They motherfuckers be killing for fun. That shit crazy as hell. Cats are crazy, bro. Like they're fun and they're cute and everything, and then they start killing for fun. Like whenever you're not looking, they're just like jumping in the sky, hunting birds and shit out the tree and shit like that. It's crazy. But yeah, man. Mine was almost killed. Baby bunny with a weed whacker. Oh wait, what? He didn't see him, but he was so small, he missed him. The bunny was okay. It's like that too, because it's funny because they freeze up and they get scared. Like a little bunny just freezes up. That's crazy though. Hey man, it's warm and it's still bright outside. Hey, this is gonna be a good summer for live streaming. I'm gonna tell you right now. And I'm catching this cool breeze. I'm walking through this. You know what I'm saying? Catching this cool breeze. Doing all right, man. Hey, Graydon, let me ask you a question. You paying attention to the Indiana Pacers and Oklahoma City Thunder finals? Also, because that's what the main live stream is about. But also, you gotta understand, Graydon, that's nature, man. Like, even though people have house cats, those house cats are gonna chase the baby rabbits, man. That was crazy. That was wild. How's it going? But yeah, I'm on the lookout for Graydon. I'm on the lookout for baby rabbits now because there's no telling how many times I walk past them. I seen 3 giant rabbits at the park earlier. Now I'm like, bro, it's also like you gotta think it's like spring. So because it's spring, oh shoot, hold on, because it's spring, like I gotta show you these baby ducks. There's a little pond up the street. I'll be kicking at the pond. I used to be chiefing out there, but at the same time, there's like little baby ducks right now every spring. It's crazy. The rabbit thing, it's nature. Yeah, I mean that's the tricky part because it's like, but the funny part about it is like, you see the cat. The cat isn't naturally from this environment, so it should be like a raccoon that eats it, or like a bird that snatches up the baby rabbit, but not necessarily like you know what I'm saying, if that makes sense. So then now because like house cats are around, you know what I'm saying. Now you have more predators. Like over here we have raccoons, coyotes. You know what I'm saying. What else? Well, I'm missing, bro. Raccoons, coyotes, and birds and shit. Motherfucking a hawk come in and swoop that shit up. You know what I mean? But then now you got like a house cat, and you just added an extra predator to the fucking food chain, which is crazy. It's crazy, man. It'd be like that, man. But nah, A graded, man. I'm getting close to the house, bro. I'm crossing MLK. I'm getting close to the house. So I'm gonna end it right there, bro. I appreciate you dropping in on me. I appreciate you saying what's up. I'm about to get off soon, real quick. All right. I just want to let you know. All right. But yeah, everybody else, that's what it is. But I'm gonna try to do these recaps for certain games and give my little 2 cents and whatnot on the sports. Give my little perspective and things like that. But I appreciate everybody dropping in on me saying what's up. I appreciate all that, man. All right. Got you. Yep. Be safe. Hey, you be safe too, man. Be safe too, man. Keep doing your thing. I'm subscribed to your channel, so I see all the coins, man. I'm gonna make sure to leave some likes here and there. You know what I'm saying? I got you. All right, bro. Hey, love you guys and I appreciate y'all, man. Peace. I'm headed back in. Heading back in the house. All right, y'all. I'm gone.